Salad. Today we're going to be painting my glasses case, which you can see right here in frame. So yeah, let's just kind of get into it and I'll talk as I go. First I'm going to start with this like flat little brush and I'm gonna wet it in some water I have off screen here and then dry off the excess because you want your, at least for this, you want your paintbrush to be like quite damped, but obviously not like sopping wet because otherwise that would dilute the paint too much. So I think that looks about right to me. As you can see, I've already done a layer here of just like the, what do you call it? It's not really the backdrop, is it? It's the, like the underpaint, like the base layer. I guess I'll call it the base layer. I did one layer of base layer, but I would still like a little bit more. So I'm first gonna take off some of this light blue paint from the little container I brought it with me and put it on this old, whoa, hold on a second, I'm trying to close the paint, and put it on this old, what is this? Oh, it's an old coconut water thing. Sorry, I tilted you a little bit. Okay, good. Which is what I'm using as a palette. And I'm gonna pick up a little bit of paint at a time and go over this whole tulip with a light layer of blue. I want to be careful to make sure that this is really flat, because when the top layer comes over it, if there's like any elevations or protuberances, that could be kind of a problem. So I do the first stroke sort of like not at the edge, and then when the paintbrush has a little less paint on it, I go in and try to get those corners and edges as defined as I can. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a base layer and not the finished product. So of course, it doesn't have to be perfect. And when you think about it, the finished project doesn't really have to be perfect either. If I'm honest with you, I've been putting off this project for kind of a long time. I started it like forever ago. And then I just like never had got around to it. I just like never really felt like painting it. And then I waited for so long. Oh, there's a weird little bit here. That's fine. I waited for so long that the project started getting like scarier and scarier. Even though like it's just a little fun thing for myself that I'm painting for myself. So in no way does it have to be perfect, you know? But, and it's not like, I'm not usually very judgy towards myself, and no one looking at this would be judgy toward it. So it's not like this was causing me anxiety because I'm afraid of judgment, and it's really nothing that I haven't painted before in other situations, so it's not like I was anxious because I didn't have the skill. It was partially just because I took so long to start actually working on it, I feel like, that it just got bigger and bigger in my head, and then I was really scared to do it. But it's okay, because we're gonna get it done today on this live, and even if it's not perfect, that's alright, because it's about the process of creation and enjoying that process much more than really having the most perfect thing out there. Alright, now let's do the other flower. I'm flipping it over so I can do this side, making sure this stays in frame. And yeah, like I said before, just doing a little bit at a time, nice and patient. There's really no rush to get this done. I am hoping to get the whole glasses case done in this live, really do the whole process start to finish. But if for any reason that does not happen, it truly is not a big deal, and I'll just come on live another day and finish it another day. And then boom, I already have another content thing for a different day. So really it's a win-win. Kind of went outside the line a little bit there, but no matter. Okay. Okay. These corners are the most annoying part, because you really can't get too much paint on them, but for obvious reasons I want it to have a sort of even coverage. And since they're so thin, any little mistake gets you quote unquote out of bounds. But really, I really should think more of this base layer as sort of a sketch layer, because like it's all gonna get painted over anyway, so it really doesn't have, like, the boundaries of the flower don't have to be where they are right now. You know, if I go outside the bounds, then the flower's a little bit bigger, you know? That's simply not a big deal. Okay, I am decently happy with that, except for this little bit there, but that's all right. I think that's from the last time I did it. I don't think that's from this time. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and then I'm gonna do the underlayer of these little birds. So let me wash my pencil, not my pencil, my brush, so that we can switch into this yellow. I forgot to bring my little brush cleaner thing, so I'll just have to make do without it and clean my brushes really good when I get home. Hopefully won't be a problem. Okay, I'm gonna put the yellow kind of far away from the blue on this thing, because I really don't want them to get all mixed up and stuff. So take some yellow, put it right here. Take some yellow, put it right here. Honestly, I think this should be enough. These are pretty small birds. And again, similarly to the tulips, we want this base layer to be, I guess I should be careful not to leave my hand on the tulip as I draw here, but we want this base layer to be very thin. No lumps of color, not a lot of thickness around the borders, just nice and clean. I always, when I'm painting, you know, it's a little bit harder while filming at the same time, but like in general, it's like I move the piece rather than paint in an uncomfortable angle, you know? Obviously, that's not possible for every artist, especially artists that work in like big ass canvases, but you know, since I usually work in a medium sized to small medium, it's pretty easy to just turn it kind of as needed so the angle of the brush strokes is as easy as possible. Okay, I'm quite happy with that coverage. So now we're gonna do the other bird. I don't remember how to do these little flowers, so we'll have to see what happens, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I'm very glad to be painting this. The other day when I was traveling, I took my younger cousin's glasses home with me because we have the same, it wasn't the exact same glasses case, but they were both like this blue color, which obviously you can't see because I've already painted it over with black. But yeah, we had pretty similar glasses case, and now I will never confuse my glasses case with my cousin's ever again. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry a bit. Sometimes I feel like I put paint on it and then I brush over it and I end up scraping the paint that I just put down off. And that's a little bit frustrating. But yes, I'm gonna let that dry a little bit and then I'm gonna practice a little bit how to do these flower petals, not flower petals, these leaves, because I don't remember how to do them. So I'm gonna take this off screen real quick and put that to dry off to the side. Then I'm gonna get probably this 2 brush. Oh, this is actually a 4. Okay, I guess I'll use this 4. And this blank piece of paper, and I will practice the leaf shapes, for which I will need, here I'll put the green on the other corner of this. And so for the leaves, I will need light green. Probably that will be enough. And I will also need a little bit of this darker green so that we can have some color variation in the flower, which will be nice. This dark green is looking a little bit watery. Is it just me? I think it should be fine. We really only need a little bit of each color. So there we go. That should be enough. So first, let's hydrate this number 4. Get a lot of water in there. And then dap, 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 dap the water out. And then I'm gonna come in. Is it the light green first or the dark green first? Let me check my reference photo real quick, everyone. Thank you for your patience. Oh, right, that's a clever thing I did where I saved my reference photo not to the phone that's in my hand, but on the phone that like I'm literally using to do the live. So whatever, we're just gonna go with my gut. So we're gonna really load up this paintbrush with quite a bit of this lighter green. And I'll pick up just a tip of the darker green and go okay. I'm pretty happy with that as a leaf. Can't complain. So I could dab away what was left on my paintbrush, but let's do one more. Okay, that one wasn't as good, and also it was with leftover paint, so that shouldn't surprise me, but that's fine. To me, that's good enough to go on straight onto the project now. Since I'm still using the same color, I'm not gonna add any more water to this. I'm just gonna dab the excess off and then do this exact same thing I did on the paper, but this time directly on here, really loading up this with quite a lot of green paint, and then a dab of the other one, and then dab it down to take off the excess. Now I'm gonna do this big leaf right here. Oh no, it wasn't really enough. Okay. Really, the idea is to like get it down with one brush stroke, but let's be real, I simply am not always able to do that, and that's all right. So we do a little bit of a cleanup, and I am decently happy with how this leaf turned out. Let's do this other leaf. I drew it kind of misshapen, but I guess I'll ignore this like weird corner I drew into it. But okay, let's do the second leaf. First, loading up my paintbrush with a lot of the light green, picking up a bit of dark green, dabbing it off, and take a deep breath. All right. I'm not fully unhappy with that. Honestly, I might go in for a second layer on all of these, just because this paint is a little bit more transparent than I would like it to be. I think I can do this like stem in the middle just with the leftover in here. Almost. Just need to get that little tail at the end. A little bit more. If you're watching and want to introduce yourself in the chat, feel free and tell me if you're also an artist. And if you're also an artist, you could tell me what, if any, projects you are currently working on. Okay, I'm not too unhappy at that. Really, something about the camera really distorts the way this looks in real life, but whatever, it is what it is, I suppose. Let's do this other leaf. Get a little bit of darker green. Tap it off. Okay, I really have not been doing super well with the beginning of the leaf, so really let's try to lock in and do a really good job on this one. Okay, that one was decent. I don't know if it's the surface of this like pencil case, because like obviously I primed it, but it's like a little bit like gritty. So I feel like the paint doesn't lay on it too nicely. You see how it looks like so streaky on camera? It's not as bad in real life as it is on camera, but it still is kind of happening in real life. But honestly, some of that will go away when I put the, what do you call that thing? The thing that you put on top of the painting to like finish the painting, and it sort of protects it too. Varnish. When I varnish it, it's gonna look a little bit better. I also worry that I chose a paintbrush that's a little too big for this, but whatever, it's fine. Okay. So this is it for these plants on top. I might do a second layer on them. Let me hold off for now. I need to do, I'm trying to remember what order I paint things on this bird. I think I should paint this little thing he's on first, right? I think I'm gonna make that bright green, but I will have to use a different paintbrush. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash this one. So now I think I'm gonna use this paintbrush, which is a 0. You can see it says 0 right there, which means it's like really, really tiny. So I should be able to get these curves on this branch that the bird is on fairly well. So just like the other paintbrushes, we get it wet to hydrate it a little bit and then dab the excess paint off. And then since this is a really thin line, I'm just gonna pick up a very little bit of green and do it really slowly, a little bit at a time. So okay, I think I need a little bit more than that. All right, yeah. Okay. Ah, fudge. Okay, okay, okay. Hold steady, hold steady. Okay. Not perfect, but not terrible. Really not terrible. Let's get this side. Really, the idea is for these to be thinner than this. And kind of like the proper paintbrush to use here would be a liner, which is even thinner than a 0, and it's good for these thin lines. But I low-key hate the liner. I don't get along with it. So that's why I'm using the 0. And honestly, it looks fine. Again, something about the camera really makes this look so grainy, but there's nothing I can really do about that. I wondered if I could have messed with the settings a little bit beforehand, but now we'll never know. Ah, Jesus Christ. This is the sort of fiddly work I really don't super enjoy while I'm painting. But you'll notice that we only have 2 of these, so shouldn't be too terrible. Ugh, that part got so thick. See, when I lose patience and try to just get it done, it just gets so thick. And that's not cute. Okay, okay, okay. Like, it would be fine if the whole line were that thick, but because I was trying to make the rest of the line so thin, and just that one little bit is thick, that doesn't look great, but that's alright. I can't complain. Can't complain. Now let's do this other side. I'm gonna do this side first. Okay, we're gonna call that good enough. It's not amazing, but it is good enough. Make the other little loop. Again, not perfect, but certainly good enough. Certainly good enough. Okay, a little more paint. And the thing is, as you're going, the little mistakes you sort of notice. Like when you look at the piece as a whole, they seem to matter less. So it's okay that this is like a scraggly kind of line, you know? And if you think about a branch in your real life, it's not like it doesn't have little knobs and stuff on it, you know? So there's no point in perfectionism. Okay, let's go back to doing the tulips. This is a really exciting part, but it's also kind of scary because I don't want to mess it up. So we'll see. Okay, let me pick out what paintbrush I'm gonna use for the tulip. I think this 4 is gonna be too big. I think I'm gonna use the 2. So here's my 2 right here. Here's what it looks like. It's a number 2, and at this point you know the drill. First I'm gonna get it nice and wet so that the paintbrush is hydrated while I use it and everything. Oh, I need to get a little bit of white on my palette, so let me do that first. Oops, sorry about the bump. Let's just dump out quite a bit. Honestly, I'm gonna... Whoa, that's a lot of white. Sorry. I'll put it back in the container after. I'll also need more blue, so let me dump out a little bit of blue. Okay, I feel that should be enough. All right, everyone, hold your breath. The tulip is the scariest part, but we're gonna do a good job, all right? I need everyone to really have a lot of faith in me in this moment. First, we're gonna load it with a lot of blue. Okay, that should be about enough. Then take a little tip of white, dab it off, and it's basically the same shape as we did for the leaves. Oh, sorry, that's fine. So now we're just gonna do that with the tulip. That did not turn out the way I wanted it to turn out. Okay. Don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. I'm gonna try that again. I'm gonna, in fact, scrape away most of this because I didn't like the way that turned out. I really wish I saved my reference picture to the right phone, but that's okay. I think I could even go for a smaller one. But let's try again with the 2. And just fully send it, you know, fully commit. Okay. Okay, that was better. I know it looks like it was the same, but trust me, it was better. And now we're just gonna do that basically 3 times for each sort of petal of the tulip. So the next one's gonna go right here. Feels to me like I'm doing something wrong, but I can't quite put my finger on what. And I don't want to stop to figure it out, so we're just gonna fully send it. Fully send it, trust the process. Okay. That does not look cute. I think I'm gonna redo the side one again. Am I supposed to go from the inside out or the outside in? That might be part of the issues, that I don't remember which one I'm supposed to start with. Oof, I made it worse. I made it worse by trying to fix it. Alright, it's fine. Let's just do the other side, and again, hope that I get better as I go along. And honestly, at the end of the day, if it turns out bad, I can always redo it. That's sort of the nice thing about painting, is that like you can literally just always paint over it. Okay. All right, that one looks slightly better. I like it better when it comes out with a lot of white, just because then it like has a little bit of a contrast to the background. I am using too big a brush. That is sort of part of the issue, but that's all right. That's all right. Got a little bit of paint on the other side. Try to get my hands a little bit cleaner, but it's all right. It's all right. All right. Everyone have faith, all right? Once it all finishes and it all comes together, it's gonna look good. Trust me. Okay, the right side honestly doesn't look terrible. I'm not mad about that. And I think for the middle, I can just sort of pick which side to begin with. So I'm gonna begin with the left side. That looks a little bit worse. So just kind of go whoop. And then whoop. Pick up a little more paint. Okay, is it the most beautiful version of this flower I've ever seen? No. But the sort of like the idea is there. The intent is there. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I will say that. Okay, so now I'll let that dry a bit, and while that dries, we're gonna do the other tulip on the other side. Honestly, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, it looks good. It looks good. Especially like since I haven't touched paint in like over a month, you know? I'm really a little bit out of practice, but it's alright. It's alright. There's worse things in this world. Okay, get quite loaded up with blue. I don't know why I wash the paintbrush when I'm using the same colors, but you know, whatever. It's the illusion of a new beginning. Okay, let's do a good job this time, alright? I'm gonna do a good job. Okay, that one's already a better start than the last one. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it at all. Okay, another one. The key thing about the style is that since it's like all sort of a single brush stroke, you really have to fully send it and do that brush stroke with like confidence, even when you can tell it's sort of going wrong. I could sort of fit one more in there, but I'm not gonna. Just gonna leave it a space for the next one. Okay, let me do the other petal, for the middle petal, I mean. Not the next one, but you know, the next petal. From the outside in. I'm gonna turn this a little bit more. Ooh, made that too big, made that too big. Fucking it up. I'm messing it up. I'm messing it up. Whatever. Whatever. Should I redo that one? I could do it after it dries a bit, maybe. I often feel that redos look better after. It's because of the side. This angle like is not working out for me, but it's all right. We made it. Now I'm gonna do this side. I think I should actually start at the top. On the other side, I started at the bottom of this petal. And I think it will look better if I start at the top. So I'll try that on this side. Start with this one right here. Quite nice, quite nice. I'm not mad about that at all. Honestly, everything in life really is about practice. I'm just so out of practice doing this. And honestly, the angle doesn't help. I don't mean to blame you guys, but honestly, the angle does not help. But if I could practice doing this while filming it, I would find out better angles, right? Ah, fudge. Okay, that's what that's looking like. It's not the best work in the world, but I can't complain. Everyone, thanks for watching. I think I will stop the live here. I'll let this dry. And the next live, I might try to correct some of these things. I do wonder why it looks like so crazy grainy on camera. Let me mess with the settings a little and see if I can fix that. Okay, that didn't help. I wonder if something about the focus of it. Yeah. Oh, there's a lighting button. Doesn't really help, honestly. I think it simply is what it is. I can turn the flash on. What do we think? Oh, I do think it does look better with the flash on. Like a light, like less grainy, am I right? Let me pick a spot to look at and compare it with the light on and the light off. I don't know, maybe it is the same. I don't know, I think it's slightly better with the light on. It's hard to tell. Yeah, maybe it's about the same. Maybe next time I'll try with the light on. Anyway, thank you to everyone that watched. Honestly, I thought the first one I did, which is this one, looked like shit, and then I did this one and it looks so much worse. So, you know, you live and you learn. And yeah, hopefully next time we do this, it goes a little bit better. I hope so. I think just having this round already taught me quite a lot. And hey, we got a fair bit done. You know, it wasn't nothing. So okay, I'll stop saying thanks for watching and actually finish it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.